What happens to your brain when you quit social media? Most people who quit social media expect to feel free. What they actually feel, for the first few days, is anxious, restless, like something is missing, like they should be checking something, but they cannot remember what. That feeling is not weakness. It is your brain in withdrawal. And once you understand what is actually happening inside your head, both when you are on it, and when you finally stop, you will never look at your phone the same way again. Every time you open an app and scroll, your brain releases dopamine. The same chemical involved in gambling. The same chemical involved in certain drugs. But here is the part that most people miss. The biggest dopamine hit does not come from finding something good. It comes from not knowing whether you will. The uncertainty, the maybe, is what keeps you pulling down to refresh. The same mechanism built into a slot machine. Designed, deliberately, to feel the same way. Over time your brain adapts. It raises its baseline. What used to feel stimulating starts to feel normal. And everything else, a conversation, a book, sitting quietly, starts to feel flat by comparison. Not because those things changed. Because your brain's threshold for stimulation did. When you first stop, the brain does not immediately feel better. It feels worse. You reach for your phone without meaning to. Your thumb moves toward an app that is no longer there. That is not a metaphor, that is a physical neural pathway your brain has been reinforcing every single day, sometimes hundreds of times, and it does not disappear overnight. You may feel bored, irritable, like your mind cannot settle. That is withdrawal, real, neurological withdrawal, from a dopamine cycle your brain became dependent on. Most people give up here. They interpret the discomfort as evidence that they need it. They do not understand that the discomfort is the recovery. Push through that first week, something shifts. Sleep improves, often dramatically. The late-night scrolling that kept your brain in a state of stimulation long after it should have done simply stops. The brain returns to its natural rhythm. Focus begins to return. Not immediately, but gradually, the ability to stay with one thing without the pull towards something else starts to come back. Tasks that felt impossible to concentrate on become manageable again. And something quieter happens too. The constant background noise of other people's lives, their opinions, their highlights, their outrage, starts to fade. And in that space, something your own starts to emerge. Your own thoughts. Your own preferences. Your own sense of what you actually think about things, separate from what the feed told you to think. The most uncomfortable thing quitting social media reveals is how much of your mental life was not really yours. Most people, once the noise clears, realize they were spending hours every day consuming content that made them feel worse, and going back for more anyway. Not because they chose to. Because the system was designed to make it feel like a choice while removing the ability to make one. Your attention is the most finite resource you have. Every minute of it spent scrolling is a minute of cognitive capacity, your ability to think, create, focus, feel, handed to a platform that converts it into revenue. You do not have to quit entirely. But knowing what is actually happening when you open the app, knowing the mechanism, changes the relationship. You are no longer a user. You are someone who understands the game. Your brain is not broken by social media. It is just doing what it was trained to do. The good news is, it can be retrained. Subscribe to Why Nobody Knows. New video every week. See you on the next one.